Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. What's going on, Keithan? Man, everything good?
Yes, it is, and I'm ready to have some conversations with attitude, which is our tagline. I don't know why we haven't put that on our little streaming on like Anchor and Spotify. That's on me. I forgot to put it there. Conversations with attitude. That's a nice tagline.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably definitely gonna be some of that flying tonight. Shit. How's the week been so far?
The week has been pretty good. It's been an eventful week. My week kind of took a turn when I saw that I don't know if you saw it last night, but when Ciampa was wrestling on SmackDown, his knee buckled. He had like
Yeah,
a tap with his knee. Yeah, that kind of
yeah,
scared me. That kind of
yeah,
scared me there.
yeah. I did too. Hell, I wish I could say the same. It's been terrible. I almost burnt my house down yesterday.
How the hell did you almost burn your house down?
Okay, I'm gonna tell this story, then we gonna move on. I came
Depends on
home.
how good the story is.
Right. I came home yesterday, and usually when I leave work, I go, I've been trying to do the gym thing or whatnot every day. So I went to the gym, came home, everything else. So I'm like, well, hell, it's wrestling night. Let me try to get everything done pretty quick. So took a bath, all that good stuff. Decided, hell, I'm hungry. Let me make something to eat. So I put the shit in the microwave, but I short heated it, so it wasn't hot. Right. The
Right?
problem with this story is I had put the food on one of those little kind of like the coasters for plates.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I put the food on there and I didn't think to take the food off before I put it in the microwave. I thought it was plastic. So
Right.
put the food in there, turned the microwave back on, walked off to go fucking see about what's going on. And I'm hearing something from the room, and I'm like, God damn, the food's getting pretty hot. Like, what the hell's going on? Because you just hearing this popping noise. So I come back in here. I'm like, well, hell, I didn't want to burn the damn thing up. I wanted to, dude, those are sparks I'm hearing because it's fucking aluminum in the microwave. I almost started a fire. Like I opened it right before it combusted because the stuff I had it on was plastic. So you do the math: aluminum in a microwave with plastic.
Yeah. Yeah. To forget the apartment, you almost had to get a whole new microwave.
I damn the microwave. I wanted to live because God knows, yeah. So I'm sitting here trying to figure it out. Luckily, it didn't go too far. I was able to avert a crisis there, but hell, I was so caught up on trying to catch the show that I almost burned the house down in the process.
Oh, about to have an inferno match with yourself.
Shit, the Inferno probably would have won, but I digress. Let's move on. Hell, we talking about Elimination Chamber and everything that's happened this week. This is kind of out of ordinary for us to do an episode so early in the week, but I know you were on fire to do this. So
Yes, I am. I'm excited to do this episode. A lot of happenings,
yeah,
a lot of
no,
rumors.
I understand where you're coming from. So hell, man, let's get started. Obviously, Elimination Chamber was Sunday, Raw was Monday, SmackDown was Tuesday. I almost burnt my house down for it. Um, well, man, overall, I guess, what did you think of Elimination Chamber, and then we'll just jump into that and see where we go from there.
I'll just start off by giving it my grade. The grade I give it was a B plus because it was surprisingly good. I didn't expect it to be that entertaining. Like you forgot that certain people were missing from the pay per view. Like you forgot that Seth Rollins wasn't there. You forgot Dean Ambrose didn't have a match. As at one point until the end, you forgot that Rey Mysterio and Andrade weren't there. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I liked all the matches except that. Well, we'll get to it. I'll let you know which ones I didn't like when we get there.
Yeah. I surprisingly I gave it the same exact grade. I have it written down B plus. Like that for them, that's a serious upgrade from
Yes.
the past paper. I think from everything up till Evolution, that's a serious upgrade. They look like they were trying with Rumble. It didn't quite get there, but like this was pretty good. The first match on the card, I didn't even write this down, but the first match on the card, well, if you want to even call it a card, was Buddy Murphy and Tozawa on the pre-show. That was the only.
Uh-huh.
And normally they have a couple matches, but that was the only match. And we talked about that match on the last episode, and I remember saying, "Hey, like these guys are always on the pre-show, and they tore the house down. I watched that whole match, and I was duly entertained. And the only thing that kept pissing me off was people kept hyping the match up, saying, "Hey, this is what 205 Live is all about." And I tweeted, "Well, if this is what it's all about, why the hell is it on a pre-show?" I mean, that was a great match, man. It had perfect high spots. It had near falls, great wrestling. Tozawa made a believer out of me, and Buddy Murphy, again, like I said before, if Mustafa's up there, he and Cedric Alexander should follow. The dude is great. He putting on 4 and 5 star matches on the damn pre-show. Did you get a
Yeah.
chance to catch that?
Yeah, yeah. The thing that made me mad about it was the fact that they showed a backstage promo for the New Day during the match, and I was
In
just
the
like,
middle of the damn match.
I was like, that was disrespectful. That was just disrespectful. Like you're taking away from a good match. A good match. If you want to do that, you could do that during the goddamn a tag team match between Shane McMahon and the Usos or something.
And you know what? That wasn't the only time they pulled that crap.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, they did it
Yeah,
again.
yeah. That to me, that's disrespectful to the talent. It's disrespectful to the viewer. I don't want to see that shit. If you're gonna have
No,
this,
I hate that.
have it in between matches. Not
Right.
trying to watch what's going on. I can't. I'm into, especially if I'm into a match like I was into that one. I could care less about the New Day and what the hell was going on during the middle of that match. I was more concerned about the match.
Yeah, I
But
was pumped about that match. That was one of the matches I wanted to see, even though it was gonna be on the pre-show and shit. I still wanted to enjoy the goddamn match.
they made me believe Zawa was finally, somebody was gonna beat Buddy Murphy. At one point in that match, I tweeted, "Is this his night?" Because he pulled out everything, and when he was trying to get that octopus locked on, I was like, if he gets this, that's it. Like every time Buddy Murphy tried to do something, he was great, man. Akira Tozawa was definitely really good. Buddy
Yeah,
Murphy was good as expected. Again,
yeah.
they
I
need to
definitely
put.
felt the same way though. I felt the same way you felt about far as is Tozawa gonna is this gonna be his night? But then I listened to commentary, and commentary was like, well, Buddy Murphy is close to having the record for being the longest reigning cruiserweight champion. So I was like, okay, they're gonna let him get the record, and sure enough, he won.
All I know, if he's gonna wrestle at Mania or Fastlane, it needs to be on the main card. It shouldn't be another pre-show match.
Yeah,
It shouldn't. I don't care who he goes against. Whoever he wrestles, he's good enough at this point that I can say, okay, he's going to make them look good. Obviously, he and Cedric Alexander, man, I love to see that at Mania. Him and Cedric Alexander again, and
yeah,
that goes. That they could almost steal a show, damn near. And I think that's part of the reason why they may not be putting them on the card is because of that. But you need to invest more in 205 Live if you want people to take it serious.
you
Nobody's,
have to.
yeah,
Yeah,
nobody's really taking it serious. But no, definitely a good match. One of my favorites of the night. And that was the only match of the pre-show. And then the show started. And initially, what I heard was that the women were supposed to go on last
yeah,
and put them on first, which is going to lead me into a theory that I'm going to pose to you here in a few minutes about something, and I want you to tell me what you think. But they went on first, and that match to me started slow, but it was very, very, very good. It got better the longer it went.
yeah,
Uh, one of the some of the stuff I wrote down during the match as far as notes was you were witnessing history, man. That was something that was unprecedented. You hadn't seen that or them try to be that innovative before. You know,
Yeah.
I was so excited about that match. That was, if I didn't see anything else, that was the one thing I wanted to see. It was that match. You know, you had the Riot Squad, the Iconics, Fire and Desire, which is Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Boston Hug, Sasha Banks and Bailey, Nia Jax and Tamina, and Fabulous Glow, which was Carmella and Naomi. And
Right.
man, I mean, I gotta be. Oh, and I think I forgot the Riot Squad, which is gonna bring me to my next point. Liv Morgan impressed the hell out of me in that match. Like
She had a good showing. Yeah, she had a good
yeah,
showing.
you know, that was a chance for a lot of these women to shine that don't really get a lot of credit. Obviously, Sasha and Bailey and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and to a certain degree Naomi, you know what they're capable of. But you got a chance to see Liv Morgan and I can't think of her name right now. God damn it.
Sarah
Sarah Logan.
Logan.
There you go. Thanks. Had a brain fart. You got a chance to see them two. You got a chance to see some more Carmella. You got a chance to see the Iconics, who I felt like that match could have done without, but you still got a chance to see them. Nia
Hmm.
Jax, Tamina, I feel the same way. You know, um, I'm gonna tell you, the team that surprised me was Carmella and Naomi. Like you saw a lot of team moves and stuff,
Yeah,
which was really
they were the
cool.
only ones that was doing that.
Yeah, that well them and then I'm not gonna lie, that spot. Did you see the spot with Sasha Banks hitting the bank statement on Sonya Deville and it going into the Bailey to Belly?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was
That
over
was
then. I
that
was
was
like, that's a great way to end it, but
yeah.
they
That
didn't
I
end it.
thought that was the end. Yeah, there was a lot of good tag moves in here. I mean, hell, there was the one section of that match where everybody was just hitting everything, like they were laying each other out, like one.
Yeah, everybody was hitting the spot.
And
Yeah.
yeah, man, those were some great spots. For me, I think my cons in the match, obviously, like I cringed every time Nia Jax did anything. Yeah, like I would have preferred they had been eliminated early.
She had a problem selling. You had a problem selling running into the cell wall. That was just crazy. You made that look unnatural.
Right.
Oh god, I don't mean to bury her, but I was just saying I gotta call shit when shit is out there.
No,
Like
get the shovel out. Hell, please get the shovel out.
that was
They
just,
had enough decency to not leave her in there last. That was my concern.
yeah, I was so happy they got her out of there.
Yeah, I mean that was my concern. Was God, please don't let them be the last. Would for some reason it just felt right. Boston Hug winning. We talked about this, and so I was like, don't put them in there with halfway injured Sasha Banks and Bailey. That please don't do it. You know, so I was really happy that they were eliminated, and the way they were eliminated gave me some satisfaction too. When everybody jumped on them to pin Tamina,
Yeah.
yeah, that was awesome. Um, I'm gonna be honest. My other con was the Iconics. I
Oh
just
my God, they are. Oh,
yeah, they are more of an annoyance than
right.
anything. And from what it looked like they missed some spots,
They did.
or whatnot.
Like it
Yeah,
didn't come off as clean as it should. You know,
right.
it's just well, you could tell that the other girls that they were, trying to put heat on, they were trying to their best to make it look as good as possible. But it's
Exactly.
just, and it was a time there where they just didn't know what they were gonna do next. You could tell they didn't know what they were gonna do next, and it was just
Right.
like, you
Right.
can't be that indecisive right there. And I think it was one part where where Peyton Royce was just sitting there staring at Billy Kay while Billy Kay was, I think she was like kicking Sasha or something. It just
Yeah.
looked all awkward and stuff. It was
Yeah.
just awkward.
The match could have did without them. I would have preferred to see someone else. I'm gonna tell you what, the final four, Boston Hug versus Fire and Desire was awesome. I would
Yes.
love to see that again. I
Sonya
know.
Deville, man, and Mandy Rose. Don't get me wrong, but Sonya
Yeah,
Deville, some of those strikes, oh, I loved it. I loved the way she was striking. I loved it. I just loved it. And her and
and,
Mandy Rose, they complement each other very well. That
yeah.
implant busted that Mandy does, oh man, that's a
But
great finisher.
at the same time, I still say they're too goddamn good to be a tag team. Hell, Mandy Rose came out on last night and beat goddamn Oscar. Although the finish was a little weirdish, but it still was. You seen a good match.
You did see a good match. You did, but I mean, they really are trying to push Mandy Rose, so I don't think they'll stay a tag team for long because they're trying to
Oh,
push
right.
Mandy.
Yeah. I don't disagree, but I would give anything to see that again. Obviously the win went to Boss and Hug, who became the first WWE Women Tag Team Champions. And the speech was awesome. It was kind of an emotional moment. I mean, I'm a huge mark for anything four horsewomen or WWE. So just sitting there listening to Sasha and Bailey, and again, I said this on the last show. I think you said it a couple times. To me, there was no other qualified team without them. That moment to me wouldn't be possible. You know,
Yeah,
but they deserved it. So to see them win it and the emotion behind it, it was a touching moment. I loved it. The speech and the emotion of it all and everything about it felt right. If they had a cut, that should have went on last. And if they had to cut the show off after that, it'd have been perfect. That to me, that should have went on last. And that's my issue with WWE is it seems like they try to shortchange the women in some shape, form, or fashion. They changed it up at the last second.
yeah. Well, I know one problem I had with it. Yeah, I had a problem with it going on first. I was like, why would you do that? That's like one of your biggest draw. Why would you put it up
Right.
first? Well, apparently it was some kind of uh late game tactic by Vince or something to try to
Yeah.
garner interest. And another thing, I was mad because uh Fabulous Glow were the first ones out, but turns out the reason why they were the first ones out was because of the Corey Graves and Carmella thing
Yeah.
that just came out, and they didn't want people to, because people were already chanting Corey Graves
I'm
while
not.
Carmella was in the ring.
I'm
So
just
they,
away from that.
yeah,
Apparently, that's a taboo subject, and there's
but
more
it's
to it.
it's stupid.
Well, there's more to it apparently than what we were told initially on Saturday. I'm just gonna let it lay. Uh,
Yeah,
what's done is done. But getting back to the women's tag team titles, the one cool thing about this is you got one set of tag team champions. There isn't one for Raw and SmackDown. So
yeah,
supposedly the way this is supposed to work, they'll go to Raw and or SmackDown and defend. One of the theories I've heard is that would even include NXT. I'm not gonna lie, that would be cool. You got
that
some
would be.
yeah, the Sky Pirates against Bailey and Sasha, the Boston Hug connection, excuse me, would be awesome. I would love to see that. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane versus Boston Hug connection.
That would be great. That'd
Yeah,
be a great
so
match.
I'm anxious to see what they do with this. I'm pretty sure they might not do anything else again until maybe Mania. I guess would maybe be a safe bet to me. That'd give Sasha enough time to heal up and stuff like that, and for them to figure out where they go from here with the women's tag team thing. But overall, good match. I loved it. I
Yeah, I
love
liked it a lot.
this was great. Yeah, everything was good. But I think they had the right two teams closing it out. Either one of them had a one, I'd have been fine. So I'm good with that. Um, the next match was the Usos versus McMiz, or I'm not even I
Hmm.
can't even take that name serious. Shane and Miz were the tag team champions in this, and this match just really gets on my nerves. I feel like the Usos are too good to be having to do something like this. I didn't like it, and they kind of just they further made me. Boy, that's the best way I can describe it with them. By the first thing that happens is Miz comes out and he announces his pregnancy. I don't know why they felt like we needed that to happen.
Yeah, who they really trying to get him over as a face, and it's just not working.
It looks cheesy. And it's like, this is just not his thing. I don't
Yeah,
like it. Now, the match was good. Obviously, the Usos are going to make anybody look good. They're great. The thing that ticked me off is what I always say. Shane's 50 years old. He shouldn't look like he can hang with two of the best, like two guys that are literally a top 5 tag team in the world. You know, they're two of the best wrestlers in the world. And it's one thing for Miz to do it. It's an entirely different thing for Shane, you know, or whatnot. And I just didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that the match lasted as long as it did. I'm not, obviously you can't squash a tag team
right
as the Miz in it, but goddamn, it shouldn't have looked this close. Like there was a point where I was like, when he was trying to hit the blockbuster finale, I was like, I know they're not gonna let them win these again. You know, like just retain. I didn't know where they were going with this, and obviously we talked about this. It was because of the Jimmy Uso arrest thing, but they won, and I was shocked.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because I remember we said it on our show. We were like, oh, there's no way they let them go over. And they just had that, you know, that mishap with the cops and everything. But they let them go over. They let them go over, and they're still holding it. Now they got, but it's just, they got number 6 now. I think that's number 6 or 7 for them.
Hey, let me ask you this, though. Do you think that to a degree, the AEW effect and the fact that people were saying they might leave had something to do with them letting them go ahead and win them, like that trumped the arrest to a degree?
I feel like it is, but as far as I'm concerned with WWE and the Usos, there's nothing they can really do for the Usos but give them more money and probably a lighter schedule to keep them there, because they've already done all they could do. They've already beat everybody. Like, what is there left to do?
Bring more guys in. At this point, sanity. Let's start. You know, but instead of doing that, they goddamn the next on Tuesday, which was yesterday, they have a rematch. And the Miz is out there. I mean, obviously at the end of the match, he's all pissed off and I let you down and I let my dad down and I let
that was bullshit. I hate that.
Comes back out there with the same thing last night and they teased him into a rematch. So now you're gonna get this shit again at Fastlane. Did you really need this again?
Yeah, it's too much. It's way too much. It doesn't take all that. It does not take all that.
Right. Meanwhile, again, you got Sanity, Gallows, and Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, those are two teams right off the bat. You could have said, okay, let's do something with them. You know, we got a tag team now. Let's do something.
Yeah, especially with Gallows and Anderson, because it's for sure that they're leaving. Everybody already know they're leaving. They just have time left on that contract. That's it.
Well, not just that. Not just them, but hell, you just formed Nakamura and Rusev. You could.
Where have they been? They haven't had them anywhere.
Man. I don't understand it, and I will be really pissed off if at Fastlane in a couple weeks they put the belts back on them. But I just felt like you didn't need that, you know.
It is very cringy. It gives me a headache when I see this bull crap on my screen. Like, Elimination Chamber, it pissed me off. When I saw it last night on SmackDown, it pissed me off because I'm like, what's the whole point? I mean, I thought at least when they had that backstage segment, did you see that when they had the backstage segment and Miz was tearing up the train
off the table? Yeah.
I was like, well, he's gonna turn heel.
Yeah, he's going heel. I did too.
Yeah.
He comes back out. Oh, I've let you down. I'm sorry. Like, what the hell? Like, no. I don't want to see this again.
Yeah, we know you're trying to get to Miz versus Shane at WrestleMania, but just get there quicker, damn it.
Well, and that's what I'm bringing me to my next thing. So if they lose at Fastlane, do you think you finally get there?
You do, but I mean, will anybody want to see it? That's the real question.
I don't. Hell,
I damn sure don't want to see that bullshit. I mean, I really don't. I felt like Miz was in a good position before he got linked up with this Shane bullshit. I mean, he was facing Daniel Bryan for a chance to go for the WWE Championship.
That was shaping up to be a good program, and they just goddamn dropped it. Like,
yes,
that made no sense to me. What are you doing? And you drop it to put him with 50-year-old Shane? Like, what the hell?
I mean, Shane can still do some great things. Don't get me wrong, but come on, man. Every match you have, you gotta do that leap of faith elbow drop.
That's all he has. There's no moveset.
Nothing against Shane. We just want some real good entertaining shit.
I want real wrestling. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
you had Bar on the pre-show who didn't wrestle. That would have worked for me.
yeah,
I like them, but it would have worked for me. Heavy Machinery, that would have worked for me. Don't like them, but it would have worked for me.
yeah. I really don't like them either.
Yeah, I mean, it would have worked for me because it's credible. It's not credible for a 50-year-old who actually runs the promotion that you representing to be on par with the wrestlers. It's one thing when you've been a wrestler and can do something like that, but it's another when you not. Shane hasn't really. He's done some amazing things over time. We talked about this, but he's not a wrestler. He's not a wrestler.
Right. By any stretch, I mean, he can hang with them. They treat him like one of the boys, but I mean, he's not. It's not the same. It's still Shane.
It's still Shane. It's still Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Again, I digress.
But yeah,
But I digress. I'm moving on. I don't want to see this again. And it seems like every time we say that, we see something again. We're gonna get here shortly in a second. But prime example: Balor versus Lashley and Lio Rush. Let me tell you, I popped so hard when I popped so hard when Balor won this. It's past time. Well,
yeah.
time. I was so excited for him. You want to talk about a guy who's been doing work and they can't take him off TV because he still, even though they try to make him look weak or not credible, he still produces top 5 merchandise and everything else. You can't bury this dude, and he finds a way to still get it done. And this was no different. I love the whole.
No different at all.
No, I loved it. I mean, the only thing I wanted was I didn't like the fact that they booked him in a stupid situation like this.
That was a stupid situation.
Yeah,
Like I didn't like that.
I didn't like that. And again, that's what I'm saying. When they try to make him look like, oh, it's a miracle you pulled this off. I don't like this miracle shit with him. He is not. He's just as good as most of the people you putting him against.
He really is.
If not better in some instances, but I like that. Him and Lio Rush, I thought was great. Lashley, I didn't like so much, but hopefully, man, this is the end. Well, I was hoping for an end to this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting there.
It doesn't look like it, unfortunately. This is what I'm talking about.
Why do they fucking hate us so much?
Right. You got the match on Sunday, and then you got the same fucking match on Monday. The only difference was Ricochet came out, and that made it like entertaining as hell. Ricochet and Balor are the tag team I never knew I needed in my life.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. The Lio Rush thing. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So, obviously, we talked about this. We figured that Rush was going to be the guy that does the job either way.
Yeah.
Right. So he ends up losing. Lashley obviously is mad. That made sense to me. And then he slams him at the end of the match because he's pissed. And the next night they're together.
Yes. That's the thing that pissed me off. I was like, wait, so you just basically did that for nothing? You did all this bullcrap for nothing.
Yes. It was like, oh, this looks like a good spot. And it's like somebody probably had a conversation in the back and was like, okay, so if we like get rid of him, who's going to do the talking? Because Lashley can't talk. You know what? Goddamn it, that's right. Yeah. Like, we got to put him back together. Yeah. And so he comes out Monday night and he's sorry and he's this and that. And they back together. And it's like, I know if it's me, I don't give a hell. I don't give a damn how big you is. Man, you've been friends for years, many, many years. If you power after some, I'm not gonna come back out there and be on the same team with you the next night. It's just it's not feasible.
It makes no sense.
Right. And I would hope you would feel the same way. Fuck, that's like you saying, hey man, I shot you in the leg yesterday, but we still cool. It's hell no.
I don't get the significance of even having him do that at the end of the match if nothing came out of it. And that wasn't the only time they did it in that show. They did it twice. So it's just like, what do you guys get out of that? You think that's going to keep a storyline going? No. It really fucks up the storyline.
Yeah, it's not. And I'm just like, huh? And I want an end to this because I was going to ask you, I want to see some. We talked about this. Now that Balor has the IC title, it's a workers belt again. It's not just a showpiece. So
Yeah.
you get some dream matches or some steal the show matches out of this. Who do you want to see him facing for this thing? I got a list of people.
Let's see. I would really like. Of course, I would like to see somebody get an opportunity who hasn't. With the new, yeah, Bobby Roode. Oh, I would love Bobby Roode.
I would love.
I would love
Oh,
Bobby
God.
Roode to get that.
Ooh. Yeah,
I'm talking about Finn Balor and Bobby Roode. That would be a good match. That would be a good match.
Well, I don't know. I mean, him and Dean, maybe, but you're not gonna get that.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get Dean with the IC title again.
No. Even if they faced at Mania and that was Dean's last match, that's a hell of a way that he earned the right to go out like that.
Yeah,
you know. I would love him and McIntyre.
Him and Drew McIntyre can have a good program. I believe him and Apollo Crews can have a good program.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, like who?
Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler. And hey, how about why not just throw a new body in there? Why not throw Aleister Black?
They did call up. This would be a great rub for an Aleister Black or a Tommaso Ciampa or oh God, him and Johnny Gargano. I would
imagine the possibilities.
Dude, I'm telling you, like Jesus. That's what I'm saying though. There's so many possibilities. They don't even just book the matches. If the talking happens, it'll come organically. But you finna get a great match. If they do a superstar shakeup, imagine if they move Nakamura to Raw. I would love to see that.
Yeah. That would be great.
One of the best matches I've seen over the last 3 or 4 years to me was Nakamura and Balor in NXT.
I remember that match. That was a good damn match.
Yeah, man, the possibilities are endless now. You can almost do anything. That IC, and it was the same way with Rollins. It's no different than with Seth Rollins or Dolph Ziggler or to a degree Ambrose. You could have put anybody in there, and they still would have worked out. They told their own story. The belt meant something again. It means something now. You got a guy that can carry it and do it well. I would let him have a run with this thing at least 6 months to a year and see what he can get done. And if he can impress me then maybe it's time to start talking Universal title.
Well, see, I think that's probably what they're doing. They're giving him the IC title for one to keep him from going to AEW, and another because they want to see how he does with the title, what kind of champion he is.
Here's another one. If they move AJ to Raw, I'd love to see that.
I wouldn't be against it at all.
I'd love to see that. I think it would be a great match, but again, we won't know that till after Mania, but the possibilities are endless with this. And I'm again, you want to talk about a guy who deserves something like this, he's it. Because no matter what they try to do to him, he still finds a way. I'm a huge Balor fan. I'm excited. I just can't wait. I'm hoping that he gets a match at Mania, and it's with somebody that's going to be able and amenable to work with him and can put on a match. Don't put him with anybody that can't do great things in the ring. Put him with somebody that can, and he'll still show.
And that's why I'm thinking, like, if it's any of those guys we just mentioned, I think it can steal the show. I mean, you already know they're gonna put it up to start the show. Here's one.
Not to cut you off, just in case. I think they're talking about him coming back. Balor and Sami Zayn.
Oh my shit! I forgot about that. You're right.
Something. Whoo, man.
You're right.
This is what I'm saying. I'll start watching IC matches again.
See that I've always loved IC matches because
that's what the best workers are.
We have better matches. Like last year, they had the best match, one of the best matches of that damn WrestleMania, and they started it off.
First match, yeah, that triple threat.
Yeah. So him and Sami Zayn, or even him and Kevin Owens, man, Man.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes, the Kevin Owens thing. So just hold tight on that. But I don't disagree. That will still be good. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But let's get off of that. I can do Balor. I could talk about Finn Balor all night. Let's move on.
I'm
Uh,
glad you switched that. I could do Balor all night would have been completely
yeah,
bad, but you know.
yeah. So you mean catch that right there to be.
Oh, shit.
All right. The next match after that, masterpiece, if you want to call it that. I was meh with that. I was excited for Balor, but again, you didn't have anybody in there that can kind of hold a candle to him ring work.
Yeah,
You
it
know. So,
worked well.
the next match was Rousey and Riot. Now, I was excited for this match too because I'm like, man, this might be a chance for Ruby Riot to really showcase herself and kind
Yeah.
of, I thought something was gonna happen with this. And I know they had been highlighting all night about the Becky Lynch thing a few days prior to that, this match or whatnot at the house show where they said Charlotte re-injured quotation mark her knee, and they showed the clips like 5 or 6 times. So Charlotte came out, and Charlotte's still getting heat and wasn't even wrestling that night. She's still out there prepping and revving it up. And she went and sat ringside. Now, remember, we talked about a run in. So I was like, this is the run in there I was talking about. But she didn't do that. And you had Rousey come out in the Sonya Blade gear, and I was like, that was kind of cool. I thought that was really cool, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that was dope.
And I'm all geared up for this match. And I'm like, here comes Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan put on a great match. And Ruby Riott's finna do it. The Riot Squad getting their due tonight. And the match was 2 minutes long.
Like, what kind of shit? You know what? I figured that when as soon as she hit the Piper's Pit on her, I was like, oh shit, this is a squash.
That's when
This is
I
really a
noticed too.
squash.
I know they're not finna sit here and squash this. And the stupid thing is, they did the same match Monday night, and it was how the match Sunday night was supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you do it the next night? What was the point of even doing that if you just
I
squashed
I
at
think
the
because
pay-per-view?
they got so much heat from doing it like that, they fixed it. That's the only thing I can think of. Is they was like, okay, we're gonna do this over because we didn't do it right.
Right, right. They try to make up, but I I I just didn't like it at all. Like Ruby Riott is better than that, and
Way better.
it really didn't do nothing to move forward the story of Rousey versus Charlotte, which nobody is paying attention to because everybody knows Becky's gonna come back and be back in that match. Everybody knows this suspension
Well,
shit
yeah.
is
So after that 2 second match, they come out. The Becky comes out of the crowd on the crutches, which I thought was a little overkillish. Okay,
it
so
it
she
oh
rose.
man, I hated that shit.
Yeah, she rolls in the ring. Now she barely walking. She gets to the ring because Charlotte already then came in after the match and everything else, and you had the little stare down. She gets in the ring, everybody's looking, and she proceeds to beat the living hell out of Charlotte Flair. And then, of course, after Ronda Rousey just stands there and looks, and after she finishes with her, Ronda's gonna hit Charlotte, and then Becky beats the fuck out of her too. Pardon my language. And she was. And I'm gonna ask you something, and I don't think people realize this because everybody's so over the hill for Becky Lynch right now. Becky Lynch is supposed to be the babyface in this whole ordeal, correct?
Yep.
That was a very hellish thing to do, was it not?
To an extent, I feel like to them, I feel like it started being more of a it can't really be much of a hit because if you really look at the crowd reaction, they've been treating Rousey and Charlotte like heels pretty much for the past couple weeks.
Right, but and to them, she can do no wrong. But that would
Right.
be something I would have expected Charlotte to do in this particular situation. Does that make sense?
No, no, it makes sense because when she did it to Ronda Rousey, she was being cheered. Everybody
Right.
loved it.
Right. So it's like, again, I'm so confused. And then after, of course, they escort her back out the way she came in, which I thought was stupid. And then there was a spot, I don't know if you caught it, where she had her hands behind her back like she was being arrested. And
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's
like,
only security guards.
right, they're security guards. It's not like you had police officers like they did with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those were cops. So it made sense for them to slap the cuffs on him. You didn't even get cuffed. So it looked kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And like, okay. So here's the thing that pissed me off. You, to keep this story going, picked first off, you had a very stupid squash match. And then you picked a very dumb spot. First, she's supposed to be suspended. How is she able to come in and out at will and nobody does anything? Again, I go back to when Stone Cold Steve Austin was doing something like this. They did vignettes and interviews at his house, or he wasn't even allowed to enter an arena or something like. You didn't see Stone Cold Steve Austin in the arena every night. Am I lying?
Oh no lie. Every
So
night.
it added an element of austerity because it's like, man, he's not in the arena, but we still seeing him. So he's still getting over, but he's not here. We know he's
Yeah.
not here. So when he came back, it was such a big pop because it's like, man, he hasn't been here in forever. But and it's like at this stage, to me, now that the McMahons are involved and everything else, this is my theory. This is where I'm finna take you down the rabbit hole. Is it possible that WWE, to an extent, is sabotaging this on purpose? They milking this for everything they can by having Charlotte appear on Mondays and Tuesdays, Becky Mondays and Tuesdays, and they having all of these angles, and Becky studied doing run-ins and stuff, even though she's been suspended, and Charlotte's getting heat. They milking this for everything it's worth. And then when you get to Mania, you so burnt out from seeing it for 2.5 months and all of this stuff going on that they're like, oh, well, we wanted to make this the last match, but the fans got burnt out quicker than we expected, so we're going to put Brock and Seth on last.
You know what? I felt that way when they did all those damn matches with AJ Styles and Shinsuke. That's exactly the way I felt.
Right.
With this one, I feel like it's kind of like what you said, but I feel like it's more along the line they want to have everything to do with this storyline. It's going to be the main event of WrestleMania, first time women's main event. So they want complete control. They want like, okay, it's this big because we did this. We made this story.
Yeah, that they never had anything to do with in the first place. They didn't develop the man character Becky Lynch did. Ronda Rousey's getting over on her name the same way Brock Lesnar got over on his. It's not anything to do with them, but they have themselves.
Yeah, nobody expected her to get over. So that's the thing. It's like, like, oh shit.
But that's my theory. I think they're purposely trying to sabotage this by over inserting themselves and milking the angle for all this work. So when you get to if it main events, their hope is, oh, it was anticlimactic. So we tried something, it didn't work. Let's go back to the formula. It seems like there's an element going on here because you're not seeing Seth Rollins on TV every week. You've seen him twice since Rumble. Am I correct? Like once the day after Rumble, and I think the week after that, twice. You've seen Brock once?
Yeah.
They're not stale. They ain't on TV.
Right.
They don't have
the presence is felt.
Right. They don't have the potential to get stale. They're not being shown. Seth Rollins can't wrestle or whatnot, and Brock just ain't there. So you're not getting an oversaturation of the product.
Right.
So
more.
Right. Quite naturally, that's gonna be the thing. Oh well, I just feel like they're gonna pull a swerve at the ninth hour. Hey, we were gonna put this match on last, but it just seems like Brock and Seth is hotter at this second. They're going in hot. Well, nobody's really seen them.
That's true. That's a true statement.
That's a theory, and I'm just watching it, but I'm saying, how can you screw up something that so organically worked itself out? That nobody wrote any of this. It just happened. Even when you had a minor setback in November with the whole concussion thing on Becky Lynch through Nia Jax's negligence and lack of wrestling ability, that still worked out. It worked well for you. because people went from, oh, I want to see this at Survivor Series to, hell, maybe we could see this at WrestleMania. And then when Ronda did the run in and cost Becky the title or whatnot, like that added another thing to it. It was something there. It
Yeah.
organically took shape. Now, after they seen how hot it's getting, oh, well, let's do this. Oh, well, let's insert this. Well, let's suspend her, but then have her come on TV every week. She's on TV every week, but she's suspended.
Yeah. Supposedly. This damn suspension thing is getting on my fucking nerves.
And the knee
Injury is really getting on my goddamn nerves. The injury, it's gotta go. First of all, they said they were like, "Oh, she's cleared." This is another thing. I don't know if you caught this, but you remember that video they showed of Becky going to the house show in Louisiana and then attacking Charlotte, and then Charlotte getting the best of her, re-aggravating the knee.
Right.
Supposedly that day she had just got cleared by the WWE doctors, and that she was cleared for competition. Well, if she's cleared, why the fuck is she still wearing the knee brace? Why is she limping?
Yeah, I noticed that, but again, it was a stupid, dangerous spot. So, like I explained to you, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Remember when we were talking on the phone, and I was like, think about it like this: accidents happen. Again, Becky Lynch was hurt and taken out for something as simple as a wrestling punch.
Yeah.
God forbid she had accidentally broke Ronda's arm or Charlotte's leg or whatever the case may be. You've lost the whole angle. Does that make sense?
Right. No, it makes sense.
The whole angle. It's stupid and careless and pointless above all things.
They're doing too much. It's really selling itself. It's selling itself.
Yeah, that's you said the right words. It's selling itself, but you feel like you have to add something to this.
Yeah, because they didn't have anything to do with it.
Right, and I just don't understand this. The whole thing to me was stupid, and it's no fault of the performers. It just looked like there's too much WWE for it to be anything. But I hated it. And you took a perfectly what could have been a perfectly good match, and you screwed that up to get to this point. You did all of that here, and to me, you basically took a shit on Ruby Riott. You
really did, and she didn't deserve that.
No, not at all, and that upsets me. It just I just didn't like it. They could have just left the match completely off the card for me personally.
They need to be very delicate with how they do it, because now they're kind of putting it in danger, I feel.
And then to make matters worse, because we'll be on this all night. To make matters worse, after she beat the hell out of Charlotte and Ronda, and they're bleeding all over the place and stuff, out walks Baron Corbin midway through. Did you see that?
That's ridiculous. I'm so tired of seeing Baron Corbin, period.
Why would you have him come out in the middle of a hot spot? This is a hot spot right now.
But that was like a Raw move. That was like a Raw SmackDown move. That's what you do on Raw or SmackDown. You don't do that during the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
when you're trying to get it over.
I'm like 5 seconds removed from seeing her beat the hell out of two people. There's blood on TV for the first time ever that I can remember. And you bring this crap-inducing guy out here and put him on my television. I don't want to see it. This match was terrible. I'm not going to lie. I seen the beginning of it, and I went to the bathroom, and I caught the end. That's the truth. That's God's truth.
You didn't miss nothing.
I know I didn't miss anything, but here's the things that upset me that I wrote down. Why? The first thing that stuck out to me was, you remember, I think the week before this pay-per-view, Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman beat, I believe, McIntyre and Baron Corbin, and I believe Lashley, right?
Right.
Okay, so midway out, when McIntyre comes out, who at this stage in the game needs to be kicking, screaming, cursing, and whatever he needs to do to be unhitched from this.
Yes.
Be unhitched from this. He comes out, and Lashley comes out, who just got beaten and lost his title. I'm like, okay, well, surely Kurt Angle or somebody will come out and help Baron Corbin because there was somebody out there a week or two ago. Nobody showed up. That was
Yeah,
stupid.
it was very stupid. And with the Corbin shit, why have him have help from Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre when the next night on Raw you don't do shit with it?
Well, hold on. So I'm saying, okay, fine. I don't care. I really don't care. I think it's stupid for y'all to have Baron Corbin beat Braun Strowman this way, but I don't care. It was dumb. Only thing that pissed me off, Drew McIntyre shouldn't be anywhere near this feud because apparently y'all are intent on saying, look, Braun Strowman, we didn't strike while the iron is hot. You've been relegated to mid-card status. This is what you get, because that's clearly what's going on here. He's nowhere near the universal title picture right now. And
Right.
Drew McIntyre should be, but he's not. So that upset me. I was mad about the finish because you got 3 guys out here to beat one who I thought was a big deal. And nobody showed up, but he had plenty of help 2 weeks ago. So that was stupid booking. And
Right.
even though Corbin wins the match, I'm like, okay, well, this is the end all be all. It's done. Clearly, this is it. We call it a day. You put the same shit on my TV the next night.
Just recycled the bullshit. That's the thing that makes me mad.
It seemed like there was a lot of that going on. We went through 4 matches or so already, and how many of them did we see the next night? Is it like 3 so far?
It was like we saw Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman. Saw that bullshit again.
And Balor and Lashley.
Yep.
Ricochet was the only difference to that. And then you saw Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey.
To close the show of all things.
And the thing that kills me, your hottest angle right now is Becky, Charlotte, Ronda. You put that on before this match.
Yeah.
You put your Intercontinental title match on before this match. And this match was a dud. A straight dud. It was nothing spectacular about it. It was nothing great. It didn't end the feud clearly because I saw it the next night. So that means it's not over. It didn't do anything.
It didn't do nothing.
Yeah, it was there. It was a pointless match that you could have put on first.
They just pissed me off.
Yeah, I know. So it seems like this will just carry itself into Mania. That's my theory here. And if it's on the Mania card, I'll be going to the bathroom. I really will be going to the bathroom.
Absolutely.
I digress. Let's move on. Right after that, you had something that was just as stupid, and I kind of want to talk about for a second. Right after that match was the Lacey Evans walk.
Oh my shit.
We've seen this 3 times in 3 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What the hell?
I don't know. I just wish somebody would have just tripped her up or just put baby oil on the damn ramp so she could slip and fall to make it more interesting. Because I just like, no, don't do that. If you're trying to get her over, don't fucking do that shit.
It made no sense. And it made no sense Monday either. And it made no sense Tuesday. Think it cost Asuka a match. It made no sense. Now, here's the thing that I read. I've been doing some research, and I read today and I read yesterday too. Rumor has it there's a big push on the way for her after Mania. Like they see a lot. So one of the articles says something along the lines they see a lot of Ronda in Lacey Evans. I don't know.
Well, I saw an article saying that she's the new Roman Reigns, and that's a negative thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Let me correct myself. You're right. It's Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, not Ronda. Roman Reigns. The other one about Ronda said they seen a big Ronda like push. So you're right. I'm sorry, but yeah, where is this coming from all of a sudden? Meanwhile, you got people that you could be using in that capacity that ain't. I'm gonna tell you. Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, the first 3 people that come to the top of my head that I think could. Those are the people you should use that kind of thinking on.
Yeah,
they are already stars. They gonna be bigger stars when they get to the main roster if you use them right.
Yeah, just gotta put them with the right people. as always. I don't know, but
I
they
haven't seen much of Lacey Evans to say anything. I seen her at Rumble. She looked impressive, but I mean,
they're not doing any favors like that.
well, I don't get this. It makes absolutely no sense. She walks down, she does the wave, she turns around. She has on nice clothes, and she turns around, and walks out, and that's it. She ain't wrestling. It's just, is this their version of a vignette?
I think it is. It's kind of like it's like an old school kind of ruthless aggression era. Because back in the ruthless aggression, they were doing shit like that, where they have somebody come out, cut like a short promo, or just make a appearance and then leave.
Right. Yeah.
It it seems like that's what they're doing right now. And I'm like, what the hell? Especially with Lacey Evans, because a lot of people aren't really familiar with her. So a lot of people don't know what all her character is about and don't know her in ring ability. So it makes it hard
It's
to.
so, it's so typical of them to me to use somebody that people aren't familiar with, but then you had somebody like Ember Moon who people were clamoring for to a certain degree that you did nothing with, or Oscar who people love that you refuse to do anything with, But you got a relatively unknown, and this is what we decide to do.
Yeah,
It's typical, and I thought it was a stupid spot for a pay per view. That's something you could have did on a regular Monday or Tuesday night show.
no,
But
screwing them over.
yeah, it was a waste of time, you know. Honestly, I thought when it happened that they were trying to, they were missing time, or they needed to play for time, so they sent her out there to kind of do that and so they could get situated. But then I've seen it too many times for it to be an accident at this point. So I'm wondering
I don't
what
get the thinking process.
no, it doesn't make sense at all. Um, but right after that, you had the main event of the night, which was the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. In this match again was Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and of course Kofi Kingston, who was a fill-in for Mustafa Ali. Um, this match for me it wasn't as good for me. It wasn't as good as the women's match, but it had some nice spots. It kind of pissed me off with the pointless shit they did. They did a lot of stupid, pointless shit, and that's what made me think they were playing for time. They fucked over Samoa Joe again. I'm tired of having this conversation. Like,
Yeah,
and the crazy thing is, did you see his work the first 5 or 10 minutes of that match with Daniel Bryan?
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, why can't I have this at WrestleMania? Like,
I
this is
felt
a
like
great match.
he was having a good exchange when it was just him, Daniel Bryan, and Kofi Kingston in there. They were having a good exchange.
Yeah,
It was a good
it
exchange.
was good.
I did not see him being the first one eliminated. That pissed me off. I
That
was
was
like, no.
stupid. He needs to just get his stuff and go, man.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this. Like, I mean, I don't care how big the dude is. He can work. He's a great wrestler. He's one of the best talkers you have, probably the best talker you have. He's like he can work with everybody I see him get in the ring with. He makes them look credible, or they are credible. He's credible, and it's a great match, hands down. They messed up the AJ Styles feud. I felt like that could have been something. They
could have been
messed
a
that up.
lot.
They messed up the Brock feud. That could have been something. I mean, they always mess up something. That him and Daniel Bryan could have had something. I don't get them with this. I'm tired of talking about it. But I mean, I'm an advocate for him because he's so god darn good. I mean, he's good.
Right.
Give the dude a chance. He was a monster in NXT. He gets here and it's like, oh no, no, I
He
can't.
was the top guy in TNA in their golden years. He was
Yeah,
one of the top
yeah,
guys. He helped build TNA to what it became. Him,
yeah. This is
AJ
a
Styles.
franchise player, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Just
don't know.
think, if you really look at it, the people who built TNA, along with Samoa Joe, are all top guys that are still in the business right now, or their names big. Like Christopher Daniels, he's in AEW right now.
Yeah.
Jay
Yep.
Lethal, he's the champion of ROH.
AJ
AJ Styles, the face that runs the fucking place. So it's like we
even
can
Jeff
go
Hardy
on.
to a
Yeah,
degree.
Jeff Hardy. Shit, they just got Abyss over there to work backstage for WWE. So it's like all these people,
Angle.
you know what they could do. Kurt Angle. Yeah, Kurt Angle. Shit. Sting worked with Samoa Joe. Had
Yep.
a
Sure
great
did.
thing with him. Elevated his game. You know what he can do. You know
Eric
what the fuck he could do. Eric Young too was a pivotal part.
in Canada. Yeah, no doubt.
Bobby Roode. Bobby
Bobby
Roode,
Roode,
also
you're right.
Team Campbell. I mean, also Team Canada. That's where I first got introduced to him.
Yeah, they had some. I mean, but this is stupid, man. It just irritates me. And it was the same thing with Jeff Hardy. He comes in, had that awesome swanton, and the second he hit it, he's out.
Yeah, that was disrespectful. I was like, what's going on? It's like they wanted to rush to the last three. You know what I'm saying? Or the last.
Yeah,
the whole point was to get to the last two.
Very end. It felt so rushed until the very end. I was like, man, they eliminating people quick in this match. Like, are they out of time or what are they trying to do here? Because if you were running long time, you could have shortened that Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman matchup and did this the right way. It just felt so rushed to me, But I mean, they eventually get down to the last three, to your point, and I mean, it was better from there. But Daniel Bryan ends up winning this thing, which I think everybody kind of expected. And it was a good match. It actually wasn't better to me than the women, but it still was a good way for them to end the whole thing.
It definitely wasn't better than the women, in my opinion. I mean, me personally, I never heard a reaction like that for. I think they had one of the best reactions, the best crowd reactions of the night when they got down to the last two. Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston put on a great match. They tore the chamber down. In my opinion, they had a great match.
I'm not finna do this with you.
Let me tell you something. Hey. Well, turn your mic off, motherfucker. Turn your mic off. I'm about to get in my shit.
I refuse to acknowledge this. I mean, yeah, it was a nice moment. I wrote my notes. He looked real in that particular match, but the match was good. He had a nice spot. Congratulations.
Yeah, multiple nice spots. He had a nice showing.
No, I'm saying he did well. He had a nice little spot in that whole match. He was good. I'm good with that. Clap him up, pat him on the back, pat him on the ass, whatever you need to do, and let's move on. But we didn't do that here, And I'm sorry. We talked about this. I'm not going to engage in it. I just ain't. So.
In my opinion, I get what everybody is excited about because it's like you want something fresh, you want something new. You're tired of the championship bouncing between Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles.
They just did call-ups.
Yeah, exactly. But there's no guarantee. Well, look at their track record with call-ups. When's the last time they had a call-up that goes straight to the top title?
And I was gonna bring it up here after you went on this little tirade. But I mean, you know what? First off, it's just I don't know. It's something about wrestling fans in the community. It's like, oh, let's do something off the wall. Okay, it worked once, it can work again. Like you have to. To me, I think people talk about the promotion shoving people down your throat. Fans tend to do that, and I think that's where we at with this right now. Like it's being shoved down my throat because everybody else wants it. I don't want any cartoon in my champion. I'm sorry.
It's not cartoon if it's a gimmick that's getting over. These guys are top 5 in merchandise sales. They're already ambassadors for the company. They're practically the face of the company, and I think one thing that they might end up doing, I don't know if this is like a marketing ploy that they might try, but some people have brought it up, not a lot. I mean, I don't think it's a factor, but WWE might see it as a tool against AEW or something like that, and they see Ring of Honor has Jay Lethal as the champion. They might say, well, shit, when's the last time we had a black guy hold the top title for us? Oh, shit, it's been a long time since The Rock. So why don't we put this on Kofi, bring in another audience? That way people don't say shit.
Put the belt on him. He needs to be I gotta be able to take my main guy serious. You know, it's okay for him to have funny spots like Stone Cold Steve Austin did, or The Rock, or anybody else for that matter. I'm okay with funny spots, but he can't be a comedy joke guy. You know, and this is a comedy joke guy. He's somebody that
I see R-Truth more as the comedy joke guy you're talking about, like the butt of the jokes. These guys are making the jokes. These guys are like really the ones that's cracking people up.
Here's my suggestion. You want to make him champion? Fine. I'll shove him down my throat, but do it the right way. Turn him heel or whatever you need to do. He can't be champion and be a part of this shit because I can't take you serious.
Why not? It's the biggest thing in the company.
Call me old school wrestling.
Very old school.
Old school Southern wrestling. But
that's what it is.
I don't want comedy gimmick in my champion. I don't. I need to be the champion. To me, is supposed to be the baddest mother on the roster. When you say champion, I think dudes like Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. These dudes were the real deal.
Shawn Michaels was dancing assless chaps.
Exactly. He had comedy spots, but when the bell rung and it was time to go, he was as ruthless and as real can get. Now, even John Cena, for all of his 6 or 7 moves, he's a champion. There's no doubt. He's had some spots, and that's fine. I get that, especially doing the whole little rap gimmick and stuff. He had spots. But when your whole getting over point is being a comedy gimmick wrestler, I don't like that. Not in the champion. Now, if we're talking about tag team, U.S. title, intercontinental title, whatever you want to call it, I'm all for that. But I mean, hell, as goofy looking as Matt Riddle's gimmick and the bro thing is to me, sometimes I still can take him legitimately serious because when that bell rings, he's a scary dude.
But you didn't see no kind of ferociousness in Kofi during that exchange or in any of the matches he had in the past week.
He had some very good spots, yes. But this is the totally different cat from, say, the one that was doing the Randy Orton feud.
That's because it was more of, well, Randy Orton. You know, it was based off Randy Orton. See, Daniel Bryan isn't really bringing the ruthlessness. You know, you gotta be ruthless to go against somebody like Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan's more of fussing at you. Randy Orton was like, well, I'm about to take your fucking head off.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Even to a degree, though, Daniel Bryan may be a little bit more easygoing, but to me, he's not comedy wrestling. When I see the New Day, I see comedy wrestling. I usually go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's me.
Yeah, that's too old school. That's Jim Cornette talking.
Well, I mean, call it what you want, and I take that. I wear that with a badge of honor. Thank you very much. But I mean, I don't want comedy with the real wrestling. Now, there have been some good comedy guys that I've loved over the years or what. Now, I thought Chris Jericho was funny, but Chris Jericho as a funny guy was different than Chris Jericho, the undisputed champion. They were two totally different people.
Because he was a heel, yeah.
I thought The Rock was funny at points in time. The Rock has had more comedy lines and one-liners and stuff.
Yeah, he's all comedy, really.
Promoing, and when he was out there competing for the championship, he was all business. It was different. The Rock wasn't ever gonna go out there and throw anything, throw pancakes and shuck and gyrate around the ring. That wasn't his thing. I just can't take you serious like that. If they want to do it and they just really want to please people, I'm for it.
Yeah.
You just need to find a way to do it. Now there's talk of him going heel after Fastlane. I read that not too long ago. There's something about him
I
going.
think they're gonna split the New Day up, and I think they're gonna turn heel. I think what they might do, they might have Big E and Xavier turn on them and stuff. I mean, I've seen Big E as a heel. He was a great heel.
He came in with Ziggler. He
Yeah.
was, but
He,
now he's a joke to me. I couldn't take him serious again.
oh, I don't have a problem with taking him seriously because like you were saying, they might be funny outside the ring, but when they're in the ring, it's different. Like the dude physicality is on a whole nother level. Just off, I mean,
It's some
be pretty
gimmick.
easy.
It's some gimmick. You don't get away from. Al Snow was great, but what do you know Al Snow for being?
What does everybody want? Head.
Exactly. That's
Well,
all. He'll get that off of him. But he was
but
actually
even his didn't get over it like that. His didn't make as much money for the WWE as that one did. I think that's why they'll be okay because they're so well received that, and then they've been together for like 5 years now. I think people, if anybody turn heel and they just disband them, they'll be like, all right, cool, that's fine. Yeah, that'll work. We'll just wait for them to get back together one day. But you know,
he got another shot at Fastlane. Yay! I'm brimming with enthusiasm. By the way,
I think he's gonna lose the Fastlane in WrestleMania. They're probably gonna bring.
Rumor has it the reason you saw the Kevin Owens segment on the pay-per-view was because there's talk of them using him, or there's been talk of them using a return star for Daniel Bryan and Mania.
Well, let's go with what you said. Let's go with something you said the other day.
You like my Bray Wyatt theory?
Yeah.
Man, tell you what,
I like that one.
They bring back Bray Wyatt and they bring back Rowan.
Luke Harper.
Oh, Harper with him, and then Daniel Bryan has Rowan, and Rowan's been in the goddamn Wyatt family, and Bray comes back and it's him and Harper, and Rowan's conflicted, and you know they carry that story all the way into Mania, and you got eco-friendly Daniel Bryan and Rowan who's trying to be eco-friendly, but he also still that's his family, and he's conflicted, and they had this whole big thing. I would go for that. I'd love to see that. But at the same time, I'd also love to see Kevin Owens. I don't see anything wrong with that either.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. I'd love to see Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan or Bray Wyatt. I think SmackDown has the best moving room for this.
Or, hell, dare I say, I'd love to see Aleister Black and Daniel Bryan.
I just love to see Aleister Black on SmackDown anyway, which I think he is going to be on SmackDown because
Andrade was awesome as it
was too short for me.
It was short, but it still was good.
Well, and then they played the commercial in between. Now I hate that they play the commercials
they
in between. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, even speaking about him, so Monday and Tuesday, we got a surprise. They brought up 4 of what I call the Magnificent Six.
Yep.
Really 7, if you be honest about it. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, Ricochet, Adam Cole, and Pete Dunne. To me, those are the 7 best.
And Velveteen, you just said 6 or 7.
Huh? I said
Velveteen.
I call them Magnificent Six, but really it's 7. That the 7th guy is Pete Dunne. I think Pete Dunne gets lost in the shuffle a lot of times, but Pete Dunne's just as good as the other 6. Hell, I tweeted tonight. I'm about to add another guy to that mix. Matt Riddle is really good.
Yeah, you're a believer now.
Yes,
I told you all you had to do is see
after Takeover. He made a believer out of me after Takeover, and then of course that match he had with Drew Gulak or whatnot a couple weeks ago. That dude is for real, and he might be added to that, and it might go from 7 to 8. But they have some surprise call-ups. Now, rumor has it, as we getting ready to wrap the show up, rumor has it, nobody knew about these call-ups, not even Triple H. This was a Vince call. Why?
Yeah. For one, he's desperate for ratings because Raw has been tanking in their ratings. SmackDown has been doing okay, but it's still lower than this time last year. So they're trying to spice it, especially on the road to WrestleMania. They want to garner as much
Right.
attention. That's why they're hell. I heard a rumor that Vince McMahon is trying to have an appearance by Roman Reigns. That's how desperate he is to have views for WrestleMania and stuff, just to get people back interested in the show. And
So,
I feel like, go ahead.
well, okay. So with that, like, so do you think that, two questions? Do you think that it's an AEW effect? And do you think the call ups are permanent?
I feel like the AEW effect is the problem because they're gaining so much traction so fast and they're selling out quickly on all their shows, and they're doing venues that WWE usually goes to in big cities. They're picking big cities. Chicago is it's like the fourth largest city in America. Then you got Las Vegas. Everybody know about Las Vegas. And then you got Jacksonville, and then you got a multi-billionaire just backing you, or just a
Right.
billionaire that's backing you. So it's somebody on the same level as Vince McMahon financial wise who's backing you, and he's like, oh shit. So I don't think they have to put much effort into it. They have all the pieces they need right there. They just got to use them right, and they have to get the right call ups. As far as these NXT call ups being permanent, Aleister Black, I feel like is permanent.
And
Ciampa,
he had the best showing to me out of all of them.
yeah. Ciampa, Gargano, and Ricochet, I think they might hold off on them a little bit more. I mean, if I were them, I would just put Ricochet on Raw, have Aleister Black on SmackDown. Of course, Johnny Gargano, since he just lost the North American title, maybe
Are
he
you
stays
nervous?
there.
Are you nervous about the fact that you saw for lack of better words? Honestly, you kind of did. You saw Ricochet kind of by himself, although he came out and helped Balor. You saw Aleister Black by himself 2 nights in a row, but then you notice Ciampa and Gargano are in a tag team both nights, and for Gargano
Ah,
to be the NXT champion, I was kind of like, huh. And it's weird because I'm like, you just got through saying if they're used right, I'm saying to myself, would they really turn them into a tag team again? Like,
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said it. And it's funny you say that because I was just reading something that they're having the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Invitational.
yes.
And guess who's one of the tag teams? DIY.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. You can look it up. DIY is on there. Also, Aleister Black and Ricochet are also a tag team that's competing in the Dusty Rhodes Invitational.
But I watched NXT tonight, and the 14s they announced, I believe, were the Street Profits that are already selected. The Street Profits, Undisputed Era, which is obviously Kyle O'Reilly and Roger Strong. It was and I don't remember if it's I don't remember who the hell else. I think it might have been
Uh,
somebody, but they already got 14 selected. They're
yeah,
supposed to be
Forgotten Sons.
yeah,
I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce the dude name, but the other dude name is Barthel.
yeah.
Yeah, those are the four. But also, it
They
was
haven't
like
given us a four yet. I'm excited about the Dusty
oh,
Rhodes.
I got the other four. They leaked it. They leaked it. It's
Oh,
the
dang
other
it.
four is Mustache Mountain,
Ooh,
uh,
love them.
Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Love them also.
We have oh yeah, that's the next two. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's 8 teams. You named them. You got Mustache Mountain, Street Profits, Lorcan and Burch, Forgotten Sons, DIY, Undisputed Era, Black and Ricochet, and Barthel and Asher, whatever how to say his fucking name. But yeah,
I, my money on the Street Profits. I already said it on
yeah, I
the.
think they go over.
I love Street
They're
Profits.
next.
Trying to get more into them. They. First off, I'm excited about the Dusty Rhodes Classic again because that was a great goddamn match last year at Takeover they had for the Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, that whole thing was good. I mean, they were amazingly good. I'm excited about that. So I'm looking forward to that. And the finals I think will be a takeover the night before Mania. So I'm definitely excited about that. But yeah, that stuck out to me. I was like, would they really turn them into a tag team? Because I think Gargano needs. I think both of them should be by themselves. They
Yeah,
don't
I
need
think
to be
so
a
too.
tag team. And that's the thing. If they bring them up and it's permanent, do they get buried into obscurity? Because there have been bigger stars on NXT before that they misused. And shout out to Everything Pro Wrestling folks. If you haven't, check out his latest episode, Conrad. He's actually really good. I'm a huge fan of his. He did an episode on NXT and their effect, WWE's effect on NXT, and he talked about this, how there have been big stars, and we've talked about it, you
Yeah.
know, and and everything about how there have been big stars in NXT, such as Finn Balor, such as Sami Zayn, such as Shinsuke Nakamura, such as Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. You name it, the list is endless. And they get to this main roster, and you're like, well, man, they're like they were great in NXT. They'll just continue on, and either they don't, or they fizzle out. You know, it's very few guys that sustain success over time. Seth Rollins is a guy that has been successful. Charlotte Flair, again, I highly recommend go listen to Everything Pro Wrestling. It's on iTunes or whatnot. He talks about this, and it's a very good show. And he made a lot of interesting points. It's very few that came in and had the same sustained success. Hell, they misuse Sasha Banks to a degree is being misused. Yes, she's had the title a
Yeah,
couple
Sasha and
times,
Bailey,
but
yeah.
Bailey too, yeah, and they're relegated to tag team wrestling, which I'm okay with because of the stuff we just discussed. But they were bigger, and my
Yeah.
gonna take the 7 or 8 of these guys and do the same exact thing. I think the only person they may actually try to do something with, because you can't deny how good he really is Aleister Black. I think for all the good Ricochet does, they won't know what to do with him.
But one thing is, you look at the Attitude Era, right? If you really go back, you had really five top stars, well, 5 or 6 top stars. Then you had Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H. Am I missing anybody?
Mankind and Kane.
Mankind and Kane. Okay, you had that. That proves my point even more. You had about 8 guys there that were at the top of the company that pushed it forward. You can take these 4 guys, integrate them into the fold of Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. You can integrate them with your top guys and have a whole new breadth.
You got a whole
Yeah,
new board of matches and
exactly.
people. Yeah, I don't
More
disagree.
pieces to play with, man.
But I can't see them doing that because he still got his picks that he wants to push. Baron
Yeah.
Corbin and Braun Strowman are 2 prime examples. You missed the
Yes.
boat on Braun. Let's move on. You know, it's
Yeah.
done. Baron Corbin, there was no boat. It was a damn bunch of planks that was made out of a life raft, and that's it. That the ship is sailed on it. Done. There's no ship. Let's
Castaway shit.
move on. It's an inner tube. Let's move on. You know,
No, yeah.
I think can still be saved, but they got to do something. Bobby Lashley, the boat's gone. Let's move on. It's certain people. Brock, the boat got holes in it. I'm done. I
Oh,
don't.
he's done. He's done.
Yeah,
He's
I
done.
don't. I'm tired of it. Let's move on. You got to get away from certain people.
Yeah. It's not a big
Jeff
man's
Hardy,
league anymore.
Jeff Hardy. I love Jeff. Boat's gone. Let's move.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, the sun is going down. Randy's still,
Yeah.
but I've seen too much of him. I want to see something else.
Yeah.
Randy's still a good wrestler. He can get guys over and make them.
Right.
He's at a stage in his career where that's what he needs to be doing. The same way people made him, he needs to make other people. And I think he don't have a problem with that at this stage in his career, but I also think they still prop him up to feel like he could be the top guy. That ship is gone. You need to start working
Yeah, not
on
anymore.
teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get to talking about, like, I don't disagree, but they still have their favorites that they're trying to push. I mean, I only want to see so much of Daniel Bryan, even though he keeps remaking. Well, Daniel Bryan might be an exception because we talked about this.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan got that thing that Chris Jericho has right now. Chris Jericho is old, yes, but he keeps remaking himself to
Yeah.
the next thing. He don't always have to go over, but when you do a program with Jericho, you come out of it with something you didn't have before. You know,
Right.
I
And that's
Daniel
one of
Bryan,
the notes I wrote down for Daniel Bryan. I wrote down, is there anything that Daniel Bryan can't get over? Because everything I've seen him do, he's gotten over.
you got a milk cow over on TV. I still go back to
Yeah.
that. People need to,
Daisy.
yeah, Daisy the milk cow. You know, but that's what I'm saying. When you like that, AJ, I think can make it. I think the creative and the WWE has made AJ still. But if AJ
Yeah.
went somewhere else, he would be just as good as he was when he first came to WWE. If he went to AEW, if he went to NJPW, hell, if he went to Ring of Honor, AJ would still be good. He's AJ. You
Yeah.
can't take that from him. You know, but it's the creative now that there's nothing else going on, you know, or whatever. I mean, and I'm almost to a degree saying this. If I'm Triple H, maybe I have this conversation with Vince. If you don't see that you can do anything with these guys, clearly there's something there because people love them. Can I have my own show, like
Yeah.
my own brand, my own show, my own? We'll just completely split. It won't be developmental. It'll still be under the umbrella, but instead of 1 hour, we'll do 2 or 3 hours like Raw and SmackDown. But it'll just be on Wednesday nights, and I'll do my own pay-per-views and I'll do my own stuff because you got too many good guys. I mean, then the people they bring up, Nikki Cross, not doing anything with her. Sanity,
Nope.
they don't exist at all. Bobby Roode, you see what happened to him. Finn Balor's finally getting some respect again. You know, Shinsuke, you look at him. Sami Zayn, he ain't done much since he been up there. He's had some good spots in there, but he's not the same
Yeah,
guy.
they've been sticking them with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he's not the same guy from NXT. He's not the same guy from
Yeah, they
NXT.
won't let him.
Yeah, no, and that's not his fault, but he is not the same guy. Hell, you haven't even seen Lars Sullivan yet, so EC3, you don't, you
Lars Sullivan
know,
is a lost cause. I don't think you have to worry about him coming back at all. I think they
yeah.
just said, you know what? Mm-mm.
Well,
No.
even to a degree, Ember Moon, like,
Yeah, she should have been had a opportunity. She's way too good. She's next. She has to be next. She has to fucking be next.
not when your mind on goddamn Lacey Evans, who I kind of like, but I need to get more into. I got to see some work
I
from
don't
her.
like her fucking character.
I like the military thing. She's ex-military and stuff. I love that.
I don't like the military aspect of it. I like the whole Southern Belle type thing about
I
it.
do like that too. Yeah, I like that, but I haven't
Yeah,
seen a lot of her as far as the rest. But even then, you got some people they haven't tapped into yet. I'm telling you, Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair, and even Shayna Baszler, who would be the bottom of that list, but still on it nonetheless. Those are 4 women that's coming up quick. What you gonna do with them?
exactly.
You know, I mean, Kairi Sane is another one. Like, I feel like she'll end up like Oscar. Look at Oscar.
That's just pitiful that they're doing to her. She deserves way more than that.
Yeah, it's just, you're calling people up, and to me, they botched the call up because that crowd Monday night was terrible. So you
Yeah,
called up your 4 biggest diamonds right now to a bad house, although it got better on Tuesday, but it was a terrible
it's
house.
because they went to New Orleans instead of Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Lafayette was
Hey,
trash.
look, hey, watch what you say. My folks is from Lafayette. I love that place. It's nice.
I'm saying the crowd was trash though.
Oh no, definitely. I don't deny that. I don't deny that, but still, it's not that bad. But the crowd was terrible. But yeah, that they should have waited or whatnot. But like you saying, he wanted to play his cards then. I don't know, man. I think time will tell. Again, we got 46 days to Mania. A lot can happen, and that's a month and a half. A lot can happen in that amount of time.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, again, the thing that stuck out to me about Chamber, it was better than expected. I exceeded my expectations. It was short. This is the first time
Yeah.
I gotta seen something this short in a while. It wasn't 5 hours. They shortened it up to what, 3? Right at 3?
Yeah, right there. Right at 3. Right
Yeah,
below 3.
right. And I felt like I got everything I wanted. And I didn't feel cheated. I mean, I felt like they should have got 5 to 10 years for putting Baron Corbin on TV again. But I mean, yeah,
he did set him back quite a bit.
yeah. Outside of that, it was good. I loved it. One more thing, and we done. I don't know if you heard, but Todd Dillinger, we're talking about people being misused. He requested a release today, and he wrote a statement.
Yeah, it's about time too. I saw that. I was happy for him because Cody Rhodes is ready for him over there. Cody Rhodes has kind of been like, poking some of those guys like, hey man, you deserve better. We can give you that. Like Ty Dillinger, Zack Ryder, some of the guys that he's been reaching out to.
Right.
And he's openly been reaching out to him because he's like, well, shit, they're not gonna use him. And Ty Dillinger, he's that. That's the thing about Ty Dillinger. This dude was over. He was fucking over. People kept on saying 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. He was fucking over. But WWE misused him. They saw his size. They were like, oh no, dude was there for
Well,
like 10 years.
I think the thing about it is, at this stage, WWE is hoarding talent to hoard talent. It's not that they got plans for you. And it's crazy because it's like they're in scramble mode and it's kind of making stuff better, but it's making it worse too. Oh, you want to leave? I'm going to put the belt on you. Oh, great. I've been asking for this for like 3 years. I'm okay with the Revival being a tag team champions right this second. Oh, great. I've
Yeah,
been so you getting those elements, but then certain stuff just seems stupid. You know,
right.
booking a match on a pay-per-view on Sunday and then doing the exact same match on Monday with no different stipulation, that's dumb. Now, and I know people say, oh, well, what about when Stone Cold would lose at a pay-per-view and invoke a rematch call? That was different then because you knew there was going to be some added element to that, whether there was a run-in or there was something else was going to happen that night along with that to elevate that to more than just the same thing I seen the night before. You know,
Right.
you just getting the same old vanilla. I got the same old vanilla basically Monday night from this, or Tuesday or whatever. Hell, even Tuesday, you had a damn 6-man tag match at the end. That was the same match I seen at the end of the show Sunday. It's stupid.
Yeah, and I was pissed off because my feed cut out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. So I mean, it's good and bad to that, but they're just trying to keep everybody they can. And right now, I think if I'm a talent, I'm using it. Hey, my contract's up in April. I'm gone. I haven't been pushed. I don't. I now got a title run. I don't have a story. Y'all don't have anything for me. And see what happens. And again, this is what makes wrestling competition so great because you have other places for people to go. It causes the promotion to up their game a little bit. And they trying, but I think Vince handled the last Monday Night War better or the last Wrestling War. I think the time is past them. The guy that's gonna have to be the one to really carry this war and tide them through is Triple H because Triple H knows how to play the game now. He's acknowledging that there's an AEW, but he's not acknowledging it either.
Right.
It's like, yeah, we're gonna have to keep our eye on it. We still the big dogs, but he's going out and still trying to find people. He's doing things differently. Whereas Vince is still kind of stuck in the old, oh, well, this will just work itself out. Like that may not be the case.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I think Triple H is gonna have to be the guy to carry the mantle and say, hey, I'm done playing, take the gloves off. If they want to do this, let's do it, but we're gonna do it the way it's supposed to be done in this time period. Let's tap into this a little more. Let's not do and I'm excited about that with him. And that's why I say he needed to stop wrestling because his mind and what he's doing, he's innovating right now.
Yeah.
Him and Cody Rhodes in a full blown wrestling war to me would be like outstanding because again, Cody got a mind for the business. He can talk you into the building. He got ideas. He keeps his ear to the ground. He interacts with the fans. But Triple H do the same stuff.
No, he does. He does.
So yeah, no,
Both of them great. Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. And I think you could get it would be different than Bischoff and Vince because Bischoff's goal was to try to put Vince out of business. And Vince eventually put them out. I don't think that would be the case this time. I think they would just be battling for wrestling supremacy, and that's awesome, because everybody goes home happy. I'm getting the best of both worlds here. And then it's also different because you still got other promotions to choose from. I still got NJPW to pick from. I still got Ring of Honor. I still got some of Impact. It's so many places to go. You didn't have that back then,
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. Man, but hell, I think we'll wrap this up. Awesome show. Overall, as far as Elimination Chamber, and again, we'll see where they go with everything or whatnot. Any final thoughts?
No final thoughts, man. I'm just really anxious to see where this goes in the next month leading up to WrestleMania. Because this is very crucial.
Mania. I'm saying.
And then to see what they're gonna do afterwards, because that next month it's AEW time. It's double or nothing time.
It sure is, and we will be playing. We're planning to cover it, so
oh yeah,
that'll be coming. We got a lot of great material coming up, folks. I want to take the last few minutes of this show to kind of, tell you what we got planned. Again, we're planning to do some WrestleMania episodes. Those will be coming as we get closer to Mania. So just be on the lookout for those. We're also talking about doing some collaborations here in the near future with a couple people or whatnot on some different topics, and hopefully we'll have that for you too. There will also be we'll also be doing different topics. So if you find something you want us to talk about, I got tongue tied there. You find something you want us to talk about, let us know, give us some feedback or whatnot. I mean, we're trying to cover a variety of things. Everything won't be a review or a preview. We're gonna do some wrestling stuff or whatever. Keith, man, who do we need to shout out before we get out of here? I feel like we got some people.
I feel like just really everybody that interacts with us, that retweets our stuff, that participates in our Wrestling Wednesdays, our Follow Fridays, all the new followers.
Yep.
Shout out to the podcast that's been following us on Instagram. Sorry, I can't remember you guys' names. I wish I would have wrote it down. But shout out to you guys. And another thing, if you guys are interacting with us, following us, or liking our posts on Twitter and Instagram, slide over to Anchor or slide over to YouTube. Listen to our content if you don't mind. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to be entertained. We do this to entertain the people.
Oh, definitely. I mean, man, we definitely appreciate the views. Like we said, we do this all the time. We want to get better, and that we depend on you guys for that. We want to hear some feedback from you. Shout out to anybody that had talked to us about when the next episode is coming or anything like that. I know we had some people to do that this past week. So hopefully this will be what you were expecting, and if not, let us know. If it is, we appreciate it. Continue to support us. Tell somebody about us. Real quick, just some people that I want to shout out as far as content, and some people you guys can check out that are listening. Obviously, like I brought up, Everything Pro Wrestling, great show. I'm a huge fan. I listen to it religiously. Shout out to you, Conrad. Shout out to what I call my podcast heroes. I'm listening to their episode today. Collar and Elbow Wrestling. They're a huge staple, huge supporter.
Yeah, shout out to those guys.
DJ Storm, shout out to him. Foul Original. Head over, check him out. That's Fowl _FOWL _original. He's great. One of the bigger inspirations for why we doing what we doing and why we've taken off like we've taken off. There is Smark and Friends, I believe, and If I tag you during the course of the week, you know who you are. Please forgive me. I can't remember everybody. I'm just kind of tipping a Ruthless Aggression podcast. Shout out to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I'm a big fan of yours.
Yeah, I'd like to do a collab with them.
Yeah, definitely. I also there's a couple people that I followed this week. There was I had some people that I've started listening to, and then we'll actually for real get out of here. There was somebody wrestling trivia challenge, Two Face Wrestling Talk, Wolf Radio, Wrong Wrestling Podcast, Smash This Pod, the ABCs of Wrestling, the Smarts Podcast, Smarts to Death Podcast. I'm getting to all you guys as I go. Lots of content. Again, if you ever got something you want us to listen to, or or anything like that, feel free, man. I'm always looking for new stuff. But if I didn't call your name, please don't hold it against me. There's so many supporters. We can't keep up with them. We're rapidly growing, and we'll appreciate you guys for being a part of that. But without further ado, this was the episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Many more to come. We're excited about what we got happening. We're excited about bringing you more content. And again, this has been the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, and we are out.